It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
Also, we have the Merman, who was in stealth mode this week. He apparently was at one of the movies that I went to, but I never saw him. Were you at Gran Turismo, Merman, or was that just a rumor?
I'm pretty sure you could hear me. I was the one who was sneezing for an hour and a half.
Oh, that was you?
And then he went pee like 17 times.
I did see someone get up a few times. That was you too?
That would be me.
So when you weren't disturbing the movie by sneezing, you're up and distracting me by walking up and down the aisles.
Well, no, I wasn't doing that.
Opening and closing the door.
I ran out of Kleenex.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Totally a good reason to insist he needed more Kleenex in Gran Turismo, and we won't tell you why. Well,
I will.
yeah. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you can't commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we will watch it if it's played anywhere else in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyonmeadowscinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Nice. All right. So Murray made his predictions last week, so there was nothing given away. So this is all going to be from last week's watching of the trailers.
To be honest, I forgot what I gave it, but
That's nice. Well, now everyone's going to know. So, Mur,
yeah.
what did Bryce and I give the 3 movies we're watching?
Well, I saw 2 of the 3. And
You did?
I'm pretty sure I was right about both of them.
Okay.
All right.
The other one, I have no idea.
All right, but you saw the trailer,
That's true.
Okay, lay it on us.
and it does have an Affleck in it.
It does
Dreamin
have an
Wild.
Affleck, which for me is an automatic rage, but that's just me.
Even Casey?
Even Casey.
That makes no sense.
That makes 0 sense.
Dreamin', I don't know, I figured you both gave it a meh.
All
Just
right.
because they're singing in it.
Okay.
And Deschanel.
Interesting.
Who can act.
Yeah, she's all right.
She's cute. And
Golda, I thought you also gave it a meh.
awesome. Both of us?
Both of you.
Okay.
Double Maz again. All right.
Gran Turismo,
Yes.
knowing how much Bryce loves car chases,
Yes.
I figured he gave it a rage.
Yes.
I figured you gave it a meh.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. We have it. The Amazing Murman predicts.
Whatever.
We should have like a huge sound effect. Is there an applause
That's
or,
right.
or something like a crash or thunderbolt?
Somebody climaxing. Yeah. That'd be good.
There we go. There's now the new Murman sound effect. All right. So the first movie we got to see is, and I want everybody to be very clear about how this is spelled. It's Dreamin, Dreamin apostrophe
Yes.
Wild.
Not dreaming.
They're not dreaming
Dreamin'.
wild. They're Dreamin' Wild.
Sure are, Jim.
All right. Let's talk about Dreamin' Wild.
Okay, let's do it. True story of Donnie and Joe Emerson, who as teenagers made a record. Fast forward 30 years later, and their album made decades earlier gets some recognition from vinyl collectors, and an independent label comes knocking to remaster and re-release the album. It is also the story of a father that believes in his son so much that he literally bets the farm on them. And when I say literally, that is what I mean. He actually bet his farm on his perceived notion of his son's talent.
Was it a bet or more just like he backed it with his farm?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is it? I don't know if he was
He
betting.
risked his farm. That is betting, my friend.
His entire home on this foolish dream.
Did you see it? Because that's exactly what he did. The core story is sweet, but bland. This is one of those cases where the subjects really do not warrant a biopic. There are some biopics that take a compelling subject and feel the need to fabricate situations to try to make their already intriguing subject even more so. That tends to fall flat, especially with those who know their story. Nobody knows these guys' story. This film would have been better if it was inspired by the Emerson story, but there is not enough there for a straight telling of it. We needed some embellishment in this case because this was boring. Casey Affleck was fine as Donnie, and Walton Goggins as Joe was very likable. Beau Bridges as Papa Emerson plays the sweet, naive father perfectly. But once again, the story was not that compelling, and while the performances were good, the film, as mentioned before,
Is
was
boring.
boring.
Yes.
The fact that this film about a barely talented kid that messed up his family's life by continuously being a financial burden on them because his family made him believe that he is more talented than he is, does the same as the overall film did. It makes me rage. I hated this movie.
I figure with an Affleck in it, he might like a little bit of it.
Casey was fine. All the actors did what they could with it. It was just crap, though. I don't know why he got involved in the production of it. Oh God, you're gonna play some of it?
Oh, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it's bad.
Right, take our music out. Sure, this is copyrighted, so I tone it down. We're not making money on this clip.
Was it a real person or is it all made
It's
up?
real.
Oh, it's real. It's
Murray,
based on a true story.
The picture you're looking at right now.
That's the album cover.
That's the album cover.
And they made millions off this, did they?
No, they did not.
Oh, wait, they did it.
No, we
They
didn't.
made hundreds.
Did we do any research on it?
Hundreds of dollars.
I don't know.
On the
what they made.
re-release,
Wow.
maybe it made tons.
Then it
I
was
don't think
all
so.
worth it.
If it did, that's amazing because it's not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Rage.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
he's batting 0 now.
Well,
All right. Well, you never know, Murray. You might got me right.
I was sitting next to him, and I don't think he enjoyed it as much as me.
you don't think
No
so?
one. No one plays moody, broody, self-absorbed like Casey Affleck.
That is true.
And I have come to expect that he does it pretty well in pretty much almost every single one of his roles.
Yep.
So if you're looking for broody
Yeah.
plus moody
Yeah.
plus self-absorbed
Yeah.
equals Casey Affleck.
That's right.
That sums it up. Yeah.
And alongside some of the best cast doing their best to fight through the biopic that was draggy, all over the place, without a lot of direction or character development other than Casey Affleck, aka Donnie Emerson, who is not very likable for most of the movie
No.
and really doesn't show much of why that is for the entire movie. The story eventually gets to the end and wraps it up with a happy ending and live performance with the actual Emerson brothers. For real, Mur.
Wow.
Not just for play.
Is that worth staying around to the end for?
No.
You can just find them on YouTube, I think. Ultimately, I didn't really enjoy the story that was being told. because it was kind of all over the place and unfocused. And the tertiary characters are all overly simple and naive about apparently every single thing that exists on the planet.
Yes.
But then again, it was all about the family.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm surprised Bryce did not at least give this a meh, because anytime there's a movie all about the family, it instantly goes to meh from him. So I got to say, I'm super surprised.
And you add an Affleck in there? There you go.
Yeah, you throw in an Affleck,
gravy.
sprinkle in an Affleck, and throw in all about the family, and it's mad. That's
right.
It's just like it should equal.
That's not the formula.
Bryce plus
Bryce
all about the
plus
family.
A good
plus
movie
Affleck.
is a man.
No.
Bryce plus a great movie is a mondo.
No.
Bryce plus Dreamin Wild is a rage.
We need to remind everybody that we watched Blue Beetle, and it was not about.
It's all about the family.
It was about the family.
There you go. Performances in this film by everyone I thought was actually really good. The movie dragged and needed either more or less of a story. I'm still not sure. And it was very boring and uninteresting. Also, now the only...
I've heard all this before.
Yeah, exactly. So have I. And now the only thing I can think about this movie is baby.
Baby,
Oh, baby. Baby. Oh, baby.
There's
a lot of baby.
baby.
Lots of baby.
That's some good
Oh,
writing there.
baby.
Is that where Justin Bieber got it
Baby.
Maybe.
Oh, baby. Yeah, so I don't even know how to judge this movie. Like I don't even know what this was.
It was awful.
It was really
2 hours you can't get back?
well, here's the thing about this movie. Is that Casey Affleck does a really good job of doing nothing pretty much for the whole movie.
Yeah.
And the story is really not interesting. Like Bryce said, I've never seen a story that...
It's like, why are you making a movie about this? As I say, this is the one time I'm always complaining, like when they do like Bohemian Rhapsody and they make up crap that never happened, or they put it in an order, or they say, oh, this happened first when it didn't, and that's why he did this. Well, that's not why. To try to make it more interesting when Freddie Mercury's story is frickin' interesting.
Yeah, you don't
need to embellish.
You didn't need to embellish
this one,
anything.
This one, I believe, this is exactly how it happened because it was dull and boring. Nobody knows who these people are anyways, so just embellish it a little. Just say it was inspired by these wankers.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I'm so glad I missed this.
Yeah, well,
I could
don't
tell
know.
from the trailer it was going to suck.
Well, you did also. Well,
But
we'll get to that later.
You guys have a little better taste than I do.
Well, not always.
Most of
We're not, just because we have taste doesn't mean it's better taste.
Have
Just
you
means
given
we
your
have
rating
taste.
yet? I don't think you
Yeah, I said it was rage. Of course it's rage. Like,
Yeah,
this
it
was terrible.
just so terrible.
It was so bad. But I was kind of sighing all the
Maybe
way
you
through.
should've
I was
gone to
doing
the-
a Bryce actually.
Maybe you should've
Like,
gone to the
when
other
Bryce is, the only thing I didn't do is get up and walk around. But we had a private
I'm
screening.
really hating a movie when I actually get up and walk around.
I didn't get up and walk around, but I was sighing the entire movie. And the funniest thing about it is we had a private screening.
We did.
Yeah, nobody in there?
But not one
I
person.
think we had the whole movie theater to ourselves. I never saw anybody.
wasn't anybody-
There were 6
but-
screens and I didn't see anybody.
You know what I think it was? Because there was the usher kept coming in and out of the theater, even when the movie was on.
That was
I think
weird.
he was hoping that, like, he
leave?
maybe had watched the movie before us and thought, these guys are going to walk
They'll probably
out.
just get up and
They're
walk
probably
out
just
and I
going to
can
get
go
up.
home.
Then they can go
'Cause they're
home.
the only 2 people
We're the
in
only
the
2
theater.
people in the whole
In
theater.
the whole 6 screens,
in
there's
all,
only 2 people.
in all 6 screens, we were the only people there, I swear. So he just kept coming in. I bet
Just
you.
hoping.
I have a feeling he almost wanted to say, do you guys really want to see this movie?
I can tell you how it ends. You guys can just go home.
If I was working there, I would just shut it off.
Oh, man.
Sorry, got a problem.
Well, usually when something happens there, they don't normally apologize for it
No.
anyway. So that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we also saw, what's this? Another biopic?
Say it ain't so, Jim.
What? Another biopic?
It is.
All right. Well,
So much biopic.
I have a feeling Bryce, from what he said, I want to say 72 times while we were watching the other movie. The entire time.
I'm going to spoil this right now. Dreamin Wild was the best movie I saw this weekend, and I hated it.
There you go.
All right. Well, here's things go off the rails, Murray. All right. Golda. This is not a typical biopic.
Nope.
Nope.
If you came into this film thinking it was, you may be disappointed. I've been a big fan of Golda ever since hearing about her years ago, of her being one of the very first women leaders of a nation. And this is director Guy Native's interpretation of what happened in the infamous Yom Kippur War between Israel, Egypt, and Syria. The war that turned Golda from the most beloved leader in Israelis' history into one of the most despised people on the planet. Here is a direct quote from Golda Meir. Ben Gurion, I think is pronunciation, the first prime minister of Israel, famously called Meir the only man in his cabinet. Amused, she later wrote that he obviously thought this was the greatest possible compliment that could be paid to a woman. I very much doubt that any man would have been flattered if I had said about him that he was the only woman in the government. So you can get an idea of how sassy this lady is. As we know, it takes extraordinary talent to do a biopic, especially one that is produced in the US that stands a chance of anything above a meh, and Bryce has already apparently proven that. In fact, I would say 9 out of 10 are normally your rage. I believe that the American film producers have learned recently that when you add the UK in the mix into a biopic where it's a co-production, as we saw recently in Oppenheimer, it increases the chances of success by at least tenfold. Now, this is a biopic that basically takes place over a period of 21 days during 1973. This doesn't take us through much of Golda's life, but only a very small moment in history. From shot one of this film, you are pulled into this with a style that is powerful and engulfing, from the intent of every single frame of the film, to the sound of the music, to the atmosphere, symbolism, and metaphors delivered in a way that has you trapped in the moment of time with our heroine, Golda Meir, who is not only fighting the Syrians, but also the Egyptians, the Russians, the Americans, the birds in the sky, her incompetent intelligence information, as well as fighting cancer at the same time. This woman is portrayed as smart, tough, caring, and one amazing political powerhouse, not afraid to do what has to be done to get to what has to be done. To keep a unified state of Israel that she was instrumental in creating. A lot of people don't know that. If Golda had not existed, Israel would not exist. This film had all the ingredients from frame one that would keep you interested in this biopic, as mentioned earlier. But what sealed the deal for me is Dame Helen Mirren in a performance as transformative as I've seen in many years. The only biopic transformation that I could say was maybe better was Tim Hardy in Capone. I was connected to this film from the very first frame, where normally I get bogged down with, like most biopics, where actually this time I didn't. For whatever reason, maybe it's because I'm a huge fan of Golda. But this is not obviously 100% accurate, but what does transpire is accurate. After seeing this, I just needed to go see more about her, so I actually went and watched the documentary Golda. I love this film. It was Mondo.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
What say you, Mur? I hear you saw this one.
He did.
I did. I went to Set Theater that you guys usually go to, and happened upon National Cinema Day or something. So
Yeah,
I
$4.
got to see it for $4.
$4.
I saw it for $12 because there were 3 of us.
Well, still, that's the normal price for.
I saw it for full price and was happy to pay that.
There you go. I had zero interest in the subject of this film.
What?
I barely knew who Golda Meir was.
There you have it.
I actually thought she was a spy or something.
Okay.
Turns
she kinda
out
was.
I was thinking of Mata Hari.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Now,
is
that
different.
would have been an exciting movie.
Okay.
What?
This turned out to not be a biopic of Israel's famous prime minister, but a war film. I don't really like war movies.
Uh-oh.
Me neither.
Especially ones that don't actually show any fighting.
Oh, I like those ones.
But instead just people discussing strategy around a room. As someone who knows nothing about Golda, I was left with the impression that she was an incompetent leader, and this film was a 90-minute anti-smoking commercial. There was a lot of smoking.
She did love to smoke.
Which really distracted from the story itself. If this film had followed the entire life of Golda Meir, it would have been a lot better. Not to say that Helen Mirren didn't give it her all. I did find her makeup and prosthetics in the film very creepy though. There was a diamond in this lump coal of a film. That was Liv Schreiber
Schreiber. I knew
as
you were gonna
Henry
say that.
Kissinger.
He was awesome.
I kind of wish they had shown more of that relationship. In the end,
Murray
I
watched the same
was mostly bored by this film. So I had to give it a mild rage.
There you go.
Okay. I'm loving what's happening right now. This is my jam. All right, Mr. Golda hater.
Okay, Golda is an example. I'm not a Golda hater. Let's not even go there.
I didn't mean Golda as
He's
in
a
the woman.
biopic hater.
I mean Golda in this movie.
Oh, I haven't given my official rating yet.
But you gave the last one a rage, and that was the best one of the weekend.
And this was far worse.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's not.
Golda is an example of some of the worst casting that I've ever seen. Helen Mirren is a tremendous actor, but applying pounds of prosthetics to her face and asking her to portray Golda Meir is too much for even the supremely talented Mirren. I don't understand why they put her in this role, but whatever. It was the first of many misfires in this. The film also suffers from the fact that it has footage of the real Meir sprinkled
Yes.
throughout, and the few seconds that she is on screen shows how inadequate Mirren's portrayal is.
True.
This was meant to add to the film's authentic feel, but does the opposite, as the contrast between the portrayal of Meir and the real-life Meir was impossible not to see. The one thing that the film got right was Liv Schreiber as Kissinger. His scenes with Golda are the best in the film. Unfortunately, there was less of that and more people looking at maps than I could count. If you had to have a drink every time we got an overhead shot of a map, you would get drunk pretty quickly.
Yes.
Towards the end of the film, we get some more footage of the real Meir at a news conference as she is sitting beside Egyptian leader Anwar Sadat. In this news clip, we got to learn more about Golda Meir than the entire rest of the film. The way she disarms Sadat with humor and her undeniable charisma was something to behold. But once again, that snippet made the rest of the film seem like such a waste of time in comparison. I am sure a great Golda Meir biopic is a possibility, but this was not it. This was a rage.
Yeah, I just couldn't agree with both of
And
you.
you're the one that gets all up in arms when they don't cast. Why didn't they cast a Jewish lady as Golda Meir?
That
You
is
get so
true.
up in arms about it in every other situation,
Okay.
True.
but this one. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Hypocrite over here.
Except if you see interviews with Golda was actually American.
She was American. I was
So-
going
She
to
was
bring
still
that up.
Jewish.
Yeah, so she
Yeah,
was Jewish.
But she wasn't. She
Yeah,
wasn't Israeli.
she
didn't
had
have
she has an American accent.
Yeah.
She speaks without any accent.
Yeah.
You see any interview with her, she is an American.
So it's all about accents now.
No, it's not about accents.
I don't understand.
I
Anyway,
think they should have got.
you know what? I wish I didn't even bring it up, really.
You brought it up and it was a
But here's
dumb.
the thing.
There was a dumb point.
Well, it's not a dumb point because you make a big deal
I
about
make a
it
big
every
deal
time.
of it because they could have cast it, and yes, They could have got, but this was a British production, so they made it. And she was also an American. So I guess it's not hard to find a Jewish American actor.
Okay, but you always get upset when they have an American playing a British person. But now you got a British person playing an American. It's okay this time.
They should have got Barbara Streisand.
They should always get Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, that would have been
There you
actually.
go.
Why didn't they get Barbara Streisand?
That's a good point.
It's kind of a good point. Maybe she doesn't act anymore. Maybe she's just sings.
I think they could have got her
about the
out of
right age.
retirement. They wouldn't even have to do much with the nose.
She might have even donated money.
Was it Golda like in her 70s during this movie? Like she was old anyway.
Yeah,
right?
she made it to 81, I think, before she died.
At any rate, this was.
I loved it.
It was so weird because I love the fact that they used real footage until it just obliterated the rest of the film because she is such a compelling character, and this film did not do her justice.
Yeah,
it didn't really show her sense of humor until you saw the real clip.
And it's so weird. You had all these clips, but then you had the one clip where they stuck Mirren's face on it. It's like, what the hell is that? Just, if you're showing clips, that was an actual clip too. Just show Golda Meir. Like, why did you, what is going on? There were so many horrible decisions in this.
I liked it. I was captivated from the first frame. I just loved the way it was shot. I
wanted to like this so much.
I really did like it. I
had no opinion, but I thought it'd be better. Like I thought it'd be more interesting, and it just wasn't.
Well,
to me.
I've been a huge fan of hers for years.
Who isn't?
And this one does. I'm saying I think I was warped by my love of her as a person.
Maybe.
Watching it. I also thought Helen Mirren was pretty good. But I wasn't looking at her as being... I didn't do that, what you did, or I probably would have got mad at it. But I didn't do that. Because what happened was from frame one, the shot of her, the very first opening scene in this, brought me into the film, the sound and the music, and the fact that every time they had a map and they would bring in
the maps.
And they would bring in
much map.
They would bring in the external actual conversations. It was all in Hebrew.
Yeah.
And they didn't translate
she
it.
never spoke.
Which I love.
Which they also did in Blue Beetle, by the way.
Yes, they also spoke. Spanish,
but you didn't love
didn't
that.
translate it. Yeah,
there's a completely different.
No idea
reason about
what the hell they were saying because they didn't put subtitles up.
But this is my point though, is that I felt the tension every time they did that. I didn't need to know what was happening because everything was being portrayed in Helen Mirren's face.
That was a very good decision, but how could you tell anything was being portrayed in Helen Mirren's face because she had 9 pounds of prosthetics on her? That's right. You could see her eyes. That was about it.
And
you know what? I'm sorry. She is no... his name has left me. Boris Karloff acting with his eyes in Frankenstein. She's no Boris Karloff.
I'm gonna leave you with this. The eyes may lie, but the nose knows.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently we don't want to talk about my girl Golda.
I would like to talk about her in a much better film.
I'm going to leave you with one more quote.
Oh, God. Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm sure I'll love the quote.
You're going to absolutely love this quote. This is a direct quote from Golda.
Go for it.
I am not a great admirer of the kind of feminism that gives rise to bra-burning hatred of men or a campaign against motherhood. Meir explains, she did, however, highly regard women in the labor movement, writing, that kind of constructive feminism really does women credit and matters more than who sweeps the house or who sets the table. She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty everywhere.
All right, sir.
So.
And I would like to have seen more of her.
Watch the documentary. It's fantastic.
I would recommend that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look up the Ingrid Bergman movie.
Or just watch the documentary, Murray, about Golda. It's not even subtitled because she speaks with an American accent the whole movie.
All right, Merman.
All right. Next up, we have the third of our biopic.
Wait, before we talk about that,
no, I'm 0 for 4.
Let's get caught up here.
I'm 0 for 4.
He's 0 for 4. We know.
Oh, damn.
Well, because I didn't think you would love that. I figured you would just wouldn't mind it. But whatever. I don't really care.
You didn't know that I was passionately in love with Golda.
I did not know that.
I think he's got me right this time.
Because all I've got is the stupid trailer to go by.
That's right. But
and all three of them look like crap.
But the Amazing Murman said at one point, and I quote him, I can tell what you guys are going to rate this just by watching the trailer.
I went 2 for 3 with him last week.
You did?
So.
Yeah, I think you were even 3 for...
No.
No, okay.
2 for 3.
You know, the important thing is we're going to talk about Gran Turismo.
Oh, is that the important thing?
Gran Turismo?
Thing?
Gran. I couldn't find it. It's Gran.
Yeah, I know it's Gran.
Because it's en français?
No, I don't know why.
That's
just what the video game was called.
Because it's French from the
Sure, why not?
Sure. La Turismo? I don't know.
Tell us about Gran Turismo, Murray, before Jim starts yammering on again.
Well, in the late 90s, Sony PlayStation created the game Gran Turismo. More than a racing game, it was primarily a simulator that makes its users build their own cars and win races to achieve goals. It became an overnight phenomenon and caused Nissan to create a contest to put the best gamers in the world into the seat of an actual racing car.
That sounds like a bad idea.
It definitely was. This film follows the success story of a British teen who went all the way to Le Mans. Okay, I'm not really a gamer.
What?
I did play this game when it first came out.
Really?
I owned it for a while. I never played it.
In my former life, I actually volunteered at an exhibit at the Calgary Stampede where people competed at this game to win free PlayStation consoles.
Wow.
It was in my early days.
Nice.
I never really liked this game, and I wasn't that good at it. It was a little too realistic for me.
Well, it sounds like it's a good thing, though.
But I get it. Let's see. Young hotshot driver with plenty of skill but no experience. Pisses off everybody on his way up to the top. A rich, spoiled veteran driver who cheats to win. A terrible crash that puts our hero in jeopardy and threatens to end his career. A sappy love story thrown in at the worst possible moments. And plenty of exciting high throttle camera angles and the inevitable conclusion of a Hollywood ending. I feel like I've seen this before.
What?
Oh, wait, I have. Days of Thunder.
Wait a minute, was Days of Thunder based on this story?
No,
Are you sure?
Days of Thunder was made up. This apparently was real. You throw in a little Ford versus Ferrari and a smattering of Viva Las Vegas. Wow. Elvis was a driver in that one.
Nice.
And you get this video game movie that seems improbable. It was apparently based on a real story. In fact, the subject actually did some of the stunt driving in this film.
Yes, he did.
I don't know if he ever won a race in his life, but apparently he's in the circuit.
He won Le Mans.
No, he didn't. He came third. Were you not watching?
Was he?
Yeah, he was third, you wiener.
What was the one he won then?
He didn't win anything.
I don't think he ever won anything.
He won
He got on the podium. That was the big thing.
Yeah,
he came third.
He got on the podium.
Did you not watch the movie?
They had the photo finish at the end, and he won.
Yeah, but
he won to get his.
He was on the podium. He wasn't at the top.
He got third in the. Were you guys watching the movie?
No, he got fourth to get his license.
He got fourth to get his license, and he was in that. That was the photo.
And Le Mans,
so he got
third.
Fourth, and he got third at Le Mans. You did not watch the movie.
I did watch it.
Technically, the team got third.
I tried.
The team got third. Yeah.
Le Mans is a 24-hour race with 3 drivers. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just him.
Gotcha.
Anyway, like I said, Ford versus Ferrari. It was the same thing.
Yes. It was.
There were some good performances
that was a good
in
movie.
this film. Jimon Hansu, in particular, was great as the kid's father, who just doesn't understand his son's obsession.
Yeah.
David Harbour had a lot of passion as the washed-up veteran who mentors the kid. Even Orlando Bloom was okay.
Was he?
I just felt like I've seen too many of these kinds of movies, and there wasn't much that was original. Kudos to the real Jan for what he achieved, though. Still lots of racing action, so it's a high velocity meh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nice.
I thought I would hate it. I really did.
All right.
Sounds like you were hating it.
Gran Turismo. A movie about a video game. That's a bad start. A movie about car racing. That is also doing little for me. A movie combining those things. That sounds terrible. And guess what? It was. This was not fun for me. I could go on, but why bother? This was a rage. What say you, Jim?
Yeah, I got one right.
How'd you guess that?
Because I know him.
I didn't want to talk about this movie. It was terrible.
Okay.
But it wasn't as bad as Golda.
So I have to. Well, maybe. You never know. This may also be Mondo for me.
Might be.
I have to admit,
I don't think it is.
isn't probably fair for me to even judge these type of films anymore. I'm just going to put that out there. Sports movies, be them biopic or fiction, this is because you either get Rocky 1 or Rocky 2. There is literally no other type. If you like the story that follows a pattern of one probability or the other, then sports movies should be your first choice for films. Because that's what happens. For me, it's the last choice, as I don't really care about historical sports figures or how the Rocky 1 or Rocky 2 themselves end in the history books.
His reference.
I don't either.
This
I think he lost
was
the first
based.
movie.
No. This is 100%. So I don't know why you can't understand the reference.
That's all right.
In Rocky 1, he loses.
Someone out there.
And in Rocky 2,
He wins.
wins.
Yeah.
So that's
Either
really
wins
what
or he loses.
that's
I
really
got it,
what's
yeah.
really what the story is going to be about.
That's kind of sports. You're correct.
Yeah, that's
Either win or you lose.
and the rest of it is just
Spot on, Jim.
and then the rest of it
There's
is
no ties.
the rest of it is filler. Well, you can't tie in a boxing match. You can't tie
Well, actually
in a
can.
racing thing.
Yeah,
You actually can. There's such thing as a dead heat. So go on, though.
Yeah, he almost
Okay.
almost died in a race.
But it's never been in a movie before, I don't think. It's
Actually,
Rocky
it
1
has.
and Rocky 2.
Well, actually, Rocky went. Yeah, I guess I don't know that they've
At the
ever had
end-
a draw. In
The
a
end
draw.
of Rocky 3, they knocked each other out at the end.
Yeah, so that was a draw.
But didn't one of them get up and they hold someone's arm in the air?
No.
It wasn't the
it's a
actual
draw.
match. It was
Okay, so it was,
Oh, that was
it was a showdown between the two of them.
between the two. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they knocked each other out.
Anyways, go on.
yeah. Back to my point.
If you want to call it that.
This was based on the real driver who was a video game
Gamer.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. Sorry. No, let me sorry.
Simulation driver.
Sorry. A Gran Turismo simulator driver
Yeah.
who becomes a professional race car driver. And this movie has all the tropes of these movies that we have all seen before. Nothing
True.
is new here.
Yes.
Love interest, villain, father-son disagreements. They even have the updated Burgess Meredith character who's always in Rocky's corner. Jan's corner or Jan's corner.
Jan.
Played by the ever so typical David Harbour, where he plays the typical gruff but caring uncle character.
Yeah, he does it well.
And Orlando Bloom is a transparent character
just
that most of the
annoys me.
time is
can't
spent
act.
contradicting his actions he made in the scene prior to that one. It was just like, okay, now he's doing something completely different than what he said
He's
in
just
the scene before.
smirking. That's all he does.
Yeah.
He smirks a lot.
So if you like
As my
sports
friend said, he
movies,
just stayed an elf.
yeah, I like elves. The elves are cool. If you like sports movies or maybe video game movies, then this is
absolutely.
as good as any other one that
Is
I've
it?
seen. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell them apart.
If you were
They-
one of the
really
nerds
can't
who
tell.
loved this game in the 90s,
yeah,
love
this would
movie.
be
Really?
this could absolutely be for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I am not a really good judge of these because, as far as I'm concerned, I despise pretty much every single
Sports
sports
movie.
movie that
I
I've
know.
ever seen. I won't tell you if it's a Rocky 1 or Rocky 2 ending for this because you'll have to find out for yourself or don't.
It's not.
I
I'll
really
spoil it. He came
I
third.
really don't care. And
He
the fact
podiumed.
that
But he was a winner.
he got
That's the
champagne
bottom
and he
line.
shook the
and he didn't even do
God
it by
champagne.
himself.
That's
yeah,
right.
this-
needed help.
yeah, this is
Awful.
it's just like every other sports movie. I have yet to see one that has made me go, wow, that's
Okay, well, whatever.
that's
so what is
actually
it?
pretty good.
This is
It's obviously a rage.
all right.
I thought you might like it a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Merman.
Yeah, well.
1 in 5 this week.
Yeah,
Wah,
whatever.
wah.
Don't care. I would have given all three
You
of them.
need to care.
I would have given all three of them a rage. to be
This is
honest
what
with
the
you.
people were listening
No.
for now. It's all
People
about the
don't
Merman
care.
prediction.
Only
That's
you
right.
two, only you two care about
The
this.
Amazing Merman.
the
It's
amazing
It's
Merman.
not just
Only you
Merman.
two care
It's the
about
Amazing
this.
Merman. Wait, sorry, you gave this a man.
I did.
What was the man for again? Just so I'm curious.
Oh, because I enjoyed the action.
Because
I enjoy sports movies.
But you actually said at one point in this movie...
This was basically a carbon copy of Days of Thunder.
Yes.
So Tom Cruise.
Which was terrible.
Wait. You actually said, I think I'm allergic to how bad this movie is.
No, I started sneezing. I couldn't stop sneezing. I just started sneezing, and I turned over to him, and it's like, I think I'm allergic to how bad this movie is, I said.
Yes.
That was only halfway through.
But you're like, at the end of the day, you're like, it's meh, I guess.
You gotta cheer for the kid.
There you go.
Exactly.
He's a good
Plus,
kid.
the villain was a douchebag, so it's like...
He was a total douchebag.
Was he?
Yeah, he kind of was. He's a rich, spoiled brat.
I thought everybody in the movie was a total douchebag except for his father.
That's true. I liked his mom.
His father was a bit of a
mom was
douchebag,
alright.
His
too.
mom was fine. Well, how do you
Alright.
know? She had like 2 lines in the movie.
His girlfriend was awesome.
Yeah,
Was
whatever.
she?
I don't know.
I don't think she was.
Movie was dumb and bad.
Anyway.
Okay, well-
Gran Turismo.
So biopics.
Yeah,
Yay.
biopics.
It was
Let's
biopic
just stop,
weekend.
let's
So
stop
it was-
going to biopics.
It was...
It was rage.
It was rage
It
for Bryce.
Oh, yeah.
We're mad at the amount of rage from biopics.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
It's hot. All right. We've been waiting for it. Here it is.
This week, top 10 race car movies.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Thank God.
You mean there's more than 2?
Oh, yeah.
Days of Thunder and
There's
this one?
tons of them.
There's too many.
50 years of them. Now for something completely different.
Monty
Oh, it's Monty
Python?
Python.
This morning, I attended the media launch for
Oh,
SIFF
yes.
You did.
2023.
Nice.
Calgary International
AKA
Film
the
Festival.
Calgary International Film Festival.
Nice.
As a member of Team Film Rage.
Yes.
Because these
that's
guys have real jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Murray went from 7
Pseudo
jobs to
jobs.
0
No jobs.
jobs.
You got no jobs again?
I have a pending job.
Ah.
When this festival starts, I will have a job.
You always got
There
some
you go.
irons in the fire.
That's right. I'm always moving.
Can't find him.
Not going to go through the whole lineup because there's over 200 films. I'm just going to go.
Did they
through-
go through all 200
No.
films? Okay.
They just announced the big ones. Here are some of the big ones just announced today.
But wait, before you start that,
Yeah.
is you going to tell us that Canadian director?
I am.
Okay, good.
I'm getting to
then
that.
I'm excited. I just thought you were going to hold us in suspense.
No. I was waiting for this.
All right.
Waiting for my minute.
All right.
Yes. Your minute.
Well, because you keep interrupting me.
Okay, I'm going to shut up.
The opening night film is called Jeff McFetridge,
Okay.
Drawing a Life. About a Calgary artist who many people don't know, but whose work you will have seen.
Oh.
He's done work for Pepsi, Van, Nike, and Apple Watches.
Ooh.
So if you have an Apple Watch, you probably have his artwork on your watch.
I don't have an Apple Watch.
I have an Apple Watch. I'm wearing it right now.
This film was
I have
produced.
some apples in my fridge.
This film was produced by Spike Jonze,
Oh,
What?
cool.
and there will be an exhibit of Jeff's work after the screening,
Also cool.
as well as a party.
Nice.
Sweet.
Next up, we have a return to SIFF by Canada's own
Yes.
Adam
Agoyan.
Agoyan
Oh, cool.
with his film Seven Veils.
I am an
Nice.
Adam Agoyan fan.
It stars Amanda Seyfried
Nice.
and centers around the world of the opera Salome.
Salome? Like
Which-
Salome's Last Dance?
Yeah, which Agoyan probably was also involved with, like the actual opera. He directed it or something, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's listed as a drama, but with Agoyan, you know it will be dark and disturbing.
Yes.
As a special treat, Anna Agoyan will be in attendance
Cool.
for this film.
Nice.
Another big film coming to Calgary is Anatomy of a Fall, the Palme d'Or winner from Cannes Film Festival. It's the latest film by female director Justine Triet, a thriller set in the French Alps. I'm sure tickets will sell out quickly for this one.
There you go.
For those lovers of Asian cinema,
Yes.
we have SIFF
That's
veteran Hirokazu Koreeda.
Burrito.
Oh, Karina!
Sorry, you
Returning
mean
with
the
it-
undoubted.
Whatever, returning.
He
with
is
his,
undoubted.
With his latest film, Monster.
Yes.
It is a coming-of-age thriller about a boy who loses his father, lives with his mother, and then starts behaving strangely.
I just got a boner.
I've
Hirokazu's
got
previous festival films include Broker, Shoplifters, and Our Little Sister.
So good.
Can I just say that I love him more than you love him?
No, I don't know about that.
That's
I
100%
thought you
true.
two
Actually,
might
you know what?
enjoy
You
that.
You do.
Exactly.
Just
he's
a little bit.
He's my second favorite director.
I know, you do, but I am super stoked.
I'm not going to get rid of this boner until I see that film.
I'm gonna have a boner till I see the
Someone may
closing
lose an
credits.
eye. Just don't stand near me.
The closing night film is Hey Victor, which is a follow-up to 1998's film Smoke Signals. And it's young star Cody Lightning, who is now all grown up and trying to make a sequel called Smoke Signals 2 Still Smokin'.
Nice. And
It's a mockumentary.
it stars our boy, Adam Beach.
The first one does. I don't know if the second one does.
This one does.
This is, okay, he's back then, I guess.
He's
But
back.
This is the kid from the
He's
first
back with
one
a vengeance.
who is now a grown-up.
Nice.
It's basically a mockumentary in the spirit of Christopher Guest films.
Nice.
Finally, if you're looking for star power, look no further than Dumb Money.
Oh, Dumb Money's playing
It's
Sif?
the story of the
Nice.
founders of GameStop, the video game stores you see in every mall. Check out this starring lineup: Paul Dano,
Yep.
Pete Davidson,
Yep.
Vincent D'Onofrio, America Ferrera,
Yes.
Nick Offerman,
Love Nick Offerman.
Anthony Ramos,
Yep.
Sebastian Stan, and
Nice.
Seth Rogen.
Nice.
I'm sure it will get a theatrical release, but if you're in the 403 area code, you can check it out early.
I have to laugh because you know how we love to talk about how dumb IMDb is. I'm looking at the order, and they show Clancy Brown as the number one
On
list
Dumb
on
Money?
here. Yeah,
He wasn't even on the list for Sif.
I know. So it's like, and
Whatever.
the star of the show, Paul Dano, is like down like 7th.
Halfway down.
So it's like,
Awesome.
what the hell?
Plays the title
IMDb?
character, but whatever. And for those who like the docs,
And I do.
we
I
have
do.
some interesting subjects this year. There's a film about musician Joan Baez,
Ooh.
an Affleck Damon documentary
Ooh.
about U2's work to help war-torn Bosnia,
I like where this is going.
a juicy one called Lebanese Burger Mafia,
Nice.
about local chain Burger Baron.
Burger Baron.
Vegans beware.
Hey, they sell vegan
Do
burgers.
they now?
Yep.
There's
Burger
also-
Baron?
I think so.
No.
That's what I said. Vegans beware.
You can buy lettuce and have a sandwich with
You
a
can buy
bun.
bison burgers. There's also a Rolling Stones doc and one about German filmmaker Werner Herzog,
Ooh.
which the executive of SIF was very excited about.
As are we.
There you go. And I will leave you with my pick for best doc and probably the only film I'll get a chance to see. You Can Call Me Bill, about the Shat himself, William Shatner. Long live and prosper indeed,
I may not
Mr.
make it to that
Shatner.
one.
Well, I might call in sick that day. What are you talking about? You can't miss the shot.
That's right, you can't miss the Shat.
Yeah.
I can miss this shit.
Or
No, you really can't.
you brought the joy as
I
usual.
tried.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
There you go. You know, I'm going to steal a page from the Bryce playbook here.
Okay.
I think it was a few weeks ago you got really disappointed about the programming of when movies come out. I'm like, did we really need to have fucking 3 biopics in the same week to release? It's like, okay, you know what's missing from this summer so far? 3 biopics. Granted, I probably shouldn't have loved Golda as much as I did. I'm gonna admit that. Can't help it. I've got a crush on my girl Golda,
Yes.
which warped my opinion. I'm thinking
I think.
I was trapped in that film.
Yes.
But I mean, come on, 3 biopics in one weekend. There's got to be other stuff that could have came out this week.
Yes.
Like shuffled it around a bit. Spread
I
the.
believe there was a fourth
spread
movie
the
you
love
guys
around.
turned down there that you could have gone to instead. Can't remember
Yeah,
what
I
it was.
kind of wish we would have. There was a
what it
doc
was.
that we could have gone through, but honestly, it did not appeal to me. But whatever. I don't even remember what it was.
You did these movies.
We
Something
hit
about,
it.
something about stars.
By the time we got to the
space.
end of this week, it's like I don't think I could have squeezed another movie in
No.
for many reasons. So yeah, like, can we please fix the programming here? And you know what? I'm just giving everybody a prediction of what's going to happen in the next year because not one thing has been shot anywhere. So the only thing we're going to get is A24, which is good. Hopefully all we get is A24.
And some Canadian picks.
And some international films. Maybe we'll get nothing but Korean films.
Yeah, there you go.
Japanese films.
Nice.
Icelandic films.
You may actually,
Israeli films. Norwegian films.
They actually forced me to go to foreign movies.
I won't have to force you because that's
Mexico,
all it's going to be.
South
there is, I will have
America,
to.
that's where the good stuff is too,
There's
man.
juicy stuff there too.
I can't remember the last bad Mexican film I've watched.
You know what? This is turning from this is turning into the Jim Mondo.
You know what?
This could be the best thing that's
ever
happened to us.
I was all bummed about all this, but now that you're saying that we might be getting all this foreign stuff, I'm like, okay, maybe this is.
Wouldn't that be great?
It's not good, but that's going to be great.
Yeah. We won't have to watch one superhero movie.
Yeah.
We won't have to watch one Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
We won't have to watch a series that has been dead for 15 years.
Yeah.
All that. We won't see any of
Reimagined.
it. Yeah.
Reimagined.
So yeah, you know what? Taking it all back. I got no rage this week.
All right.
Because I have something to look forward to next year.
You go.
Cute. My rage this week is the whole weekend at the movies. 3 movies and every one of them was terrible. To recap, Dreamin Wild, rage! Golda, rage!
Mondo.
And Gran Turismo, rage! Wow, that is 6 hours. 6 blinking hours I will never get
solid
back.
rage.
I believe Golda was only 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It was, I think one of them was over 2 hours for sure, and the other one seemed like it was
Gran
4.
Turismo was 2 hours 15 apparently. But
There you go. Well, we're within a second or 2 or 6 hours. We're splitting hairs here, son.
But wait, that's not all.
No.
Just you wait. There's another 2 hours. He's gonna talk about.
Yes, he is.
What am I going to talk about?
Oh, you'll wait. You'll hear it.
You'll hear it.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Oh, the lists. Oh, the lists. For those of you who are listening to us for the first time, please go to our website, filmrageyyc.com, and look at our page called The Lists. On it, you will hear 4 lists. There's the doubted, the undoubted, which we've just talked about. Hirokazu Kirido, who's undoubted. You can see the rest of our undoubted list. But we also have mesmerizing and repulsive. And Bryce, when he has his holidays coming up, he's going to start getting us to do some repulsives offs. But until then, we're going to be doing some mesmerizing off. And it's been recently we added David Dastmalchian to our mesmerized list. And it was realized very quickly that Viola Davis was also with him in the movie The Suicide Squad.
Yes, she was.
So, we are going to now talk about who was more mesmerizing. And just to remind everybody,
take down the mighty Viola
just
Davis?
Remind everybody, it has to be a unanimous decision.
It absolutely
For all
has.
who resaw it and can remember it.
Yes.
Not I saw it 6 years ago, and I remember. Did you rewatch it?
No, I did not.
Well, then,
but
sorry.
I am also removing myself because of my extreme dislike of Viola Davis.
Okay.
So it is all on YouTube.
Just
All right.
insane.
Well, I'm going to put it out there first.
Okay, go ahead.
That in rewatching it, I remember when we watched this movie, I was enamored with David Dastmalchian in this, mostly because at the time I hadn't seen a lot of him in it.
Yep.
But what I think I loved the most about him in this movie was that his character was cute and funny.
Yeah.
But in rewatching this film, Viola Davis was not necessarily anywhere close to the bottom of her game. She was at the top of her game in this movie. Like, there was one scene in particular where she fucking lost her shit. I was like, that is the Viola Davis that's going to keep this boner for Hirokazu Kirido on for the next 3 weeks. She was mesmerizing in this. She crushed him. I'm sorry. That's my thoughts.
David Dastmalchian, was crushed by John Cena in this movie.
He was.
And they were both destroyed by Viola
Oh,
Davis.
yeah.
I went into this thinking that Viola Davis
know, we
was
both
in
thought
trouble.
that. Yeah.
Like, I literally thought, uh-oh. And then from the second she's on screen, I'm not looking at anybody else.
No.
I mean, there's some scenes there where it's just like...
It's
just
Viola
blows me away.
Davis.
The scene where they're in the auditorium and she's showing him stuff, and then Sylvester
Shark
Stallone,
Boy.
Shark, goes hand, and she's like, "Yes, that is your hand." And
She was...
just every little line she uttered, it's like, how could I have ever doubted that she wasn't going to be the most mesmerizing person on the screen? Like, I literally thought, why am I even watching this? I remember both John Cena and Dave. Yeah, they were cute and they were funny, but they weren't Viola Davis.
They weren't motherfucking
And you could not
Davis.
take your eyes off her every single millisecond that she was on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an idiot for even thinking that was possible. How could I think that Dastmalchian or Cena could take down the mighty Viola Davis? I'm a freaking idiot. What is wrong with me?
But that's the thing is that I wavered
I took
last
her
week
for
too.
granted.
No, that's the first mistake. But the second, I also made that mistake because I was like, I remember after coming out of that,
Oh, yeah.
for me, the movie was all about the polka dot man.
Polka dot man.
But and he is
And and
his
Peacekeeper.
character and his arc
Or Peacemaker.
is great.
What's his name? Peacemaker.
It is Peacemaker.
Yeah.
His arc is great,
Yeah.
and he's
It
funny
is.
because of what's happening. But he was just a guy playing a role.
Yeah.
Viola Davis was Viola Davis.
I'm going to also say something. I enjoyed this a lot more the second time around than I did the first time.
Good.
It still wasn't a Mondo for me.
Oh, it was a super mondo for me. I
but
freaking love this
up
movie.
until the starfish ridiculousness at the end.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah, up until then, it was a Mondo. Like the characters in this, the way that they played off each other, the stellar cast. There wasn't a misstep in this up until the the final conflict, the big climax, which was
because
just
the villain in
terrible.
the first one was so much better.
I don't know who was the villain in the first one.
That crazy woman with the voodoo powers.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
She was terrible.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll have to take your word for it. But anyways,
I love the giant starfish.
I
I'm not
enjoyed
gonna
this
lie.
movie so much more the second time around.
and actually,
Idris Elba was just so good in
Brilliant,
this,
yeah.
and just the whole cast.
and Idris Elba used to be on our mesmerized list too, so
Yeah.
he would have also been taken off.
Well, I know,
again.
but it's crazy the amount of people that have either been put forward or were actually on the mesmerized list that were in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
They had a lot of talent in
Yeah.
this film,
It's-
and that's why it was Mondo.
It was meh. It was a superhero
Do you
movie,
remember what
so
you
it's
gave
meh.
it, Mer?
Yeah, I liked it.
All
As
right,
much as the
it was
first
a
one.
man. There you
That
go.
was back when I still liked James Gunn.
There you go.
But now he's
I do not
anti-gun.
anymore.
I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
we may or yeah. What are we doing this week then? I'm sorry, David Dastmalchian. You made it for a whole week.
Yeah. But there's no way you're taking down Viola Davis.
Well,
I honestly thought you were going to. I feel like such an idiot right
Murray's
now.
may find an early Viola Davis film that we forgot, and maybe she didn't have her game together
No.
when she was 20
there's
or.
not too many left. Not with the limited list we have left.
All right,
No.
Do another Viola.
She's
or you
still
wanna go
young.
somewhere else.
I don't do what you want.
whatever you want.
What
got another
you
Viola.
want to do? All right.
Viola Davis and Coleman Domingo, whoever that is, in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Oh, we just watched
Yeah,
that not that long
Not
ago.
that long ago. Which the movie's excellent.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
I don't have to
Octavia
rewatch
Spencer
it
movie.
because this was the one that took out, what's his name?
I don't remember.
What's his face is in this movie?
Oh,
This
yeah,
was like
what's
his
his
last
face?
movie.
Oh, the Black Panther guy.
Yeah,
Chadwick.
Chadwick Boseman.
That's it.
Yeah, she took out Chadwick Boseman.
He was on
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was for a while.
yeah, and then he met up with
And then he
Viola
met up
Davis.
with Viola Davis.
Yeah,
and
you know what?
that's just what happened.
That's just what happens. You know what? I'm perfectly happy to
and I
rewatch
love
this
Coleman
movie.
Domingo, but
Yep.
I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm sorry, I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we are. I mean, that was literally
This is like
that was
super
literally one of the
anticlimactic.
best movies she's ever been in.
She's so good, and she was so good in it. It's just crazy.
Awesome. Well, good. I can't wait to watch this again.
Nice.
Good choice, Mer.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce tried desperately to empty Jim's bag into his hand when he pulled hard and got accidental love with the completely adorable but also completely doubted James Marsden. This week, it's all Jim with his near-empty sack where he can choose to rage or dare. Now, let's check in with Bryce and see if maybe the crew has been wrong, so wrong, about the most adorable actor with the worst choice in movies, or if this is, as predicted, cute little James can't make good decisions, or maybe it's his agent. How could someone so cute and lovable be so bad at choices? Yeah, has to be the agent. Come on, Bryce.
All right.
So wait, you said that you spent 6 hours watching films that made you rage.
I did.
So I can't wait to hear what you say about this.
That was a spoiler, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you made a mistake.
I did not.
Okay.
Accidental Love is the story of Alice, a waitress that gets a nail stuck in her head, which causes some erratic behavior. She cannot afford the surgery to have the nail removed, so she goes to Washington in hopes of getting some healthcare bill passed so she can get it pulled out of her head for free. Alice is played by Jessica Biel, and she is wide-eyed and innocent. She is surrounded by a cast of characters that includes James Marsden as Scott, her cop boyfriend, Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays Congressman Howard Birdwell, Tracy Morgan as Keyshawn, who has a fallen anus, Kirstie Allen as a drunk veterinarian, and Paul Rubens as Edwin shows up, and, he's in this as well. I'm not going to lie. This was funny. There is a lot going on in every scene, and there are many attempts at humor, and most of those attempts worked. I'm not sure why the entire world has dumped on this movie, as I think it is currently 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. I can just tell you that they are all wrong. I really enjoyed this, and every time Tracy Morgan was on screen, I was laughing. This is one of those movies where they basically threw everything they had into it and hoped enough of it would land with the audience to make it enjoyable. And for me, it did. This was quite funny. It was an enjoyable meh. I like this movie. I was toying with giving it Mondo because I laughed so much, but there's almost too much stuff going on for me to go, I can't give it Mondo because it's not a Mondo movie.
Yeah.
But it was very funny. I don't get why everybody hates this movie.
I did not like this movie.
I don't know why. It was so funny. I enjoyed it a lot. So thank you. I had never seen it. I'd never even heard of it. Apparently it was directed by David O. Russell, which
it really?
Yeah. And it was just good.
Huh. Who knew?
There you go.
That you would like it. Yeah, I remember watching it in the theaters.
Yeah,
and
I did not.
I did not like it.
I've managed to miss it, but
At all.
I'm glad I got. I'm telling you, we've been doing this podcast for a while. This is one of those cases where I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I do the podcast, because Jim's gonna dare me to see some movie that I'd never seen before, and it's like, hey, this is pretty good.
Hey, you gave me the apple.
I did. That was actually quite generous of me.
That was one of the most generous things you've ever done.
Yes.
And returning that, I am going to pick from your bag.
All right.
Wherever it is.
It's the gray one.
It's this one?
Yeah. That's
All right.
it.
So I will be watching.
What will you be watching? I bet you it's a romantic comedy.
Oh, I've watched this, I think. Oh, wait, you put something on the other side of it.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Not the...
It's High School Musical 3?
Oh, I didn't take that out yet. All right. Mulligan.
Yeah, there's a mulligan. All right. I am going to be seeing Summer Catch 2001.
I think that's Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jessica Biel. I think
That's
she's
right.
in this.
Awesome.
This could
It's
be,
back-to-back Jessica
This could
Biel
be-
movies on Rage or Dare.
this could be a meh then.
It could
Because
be.
apparently Jessica Biel makes meh movies.
Does she even act anymore?
I don't know. She should. She's
I
adorable.
think she's just Mrs. Justin Timberlake.
She's kind of
now.
the James Marsden of female
Female
actors.
actors. There you go. She's adorable.
Sure.
Well, who knows what's going to happen next week, everybody? That's all I can say. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare and our god of rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, please, please me by making us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!